Welcome to the Franchise Freedom Podcast. I'm your host, Giuseppe Grammatico, your franchise guide, the show where we help corporate executives experience time and financial freedom via franchising. Thanks for joining us today. Hopefully, you've been enjoying the last few episodes. We've been doing highlights of talking about different areas around funding, advice given by franchise companies, franchisees, and everyone in between. So hopefully, you've been enjoying those. We've been trying to mix it up a little bit. And for today, really wanted to get on and talk about a topic, a question I get quite a bit. And before I get into that topic, for everyone listening, thank you for your support. If you have any questions, if you have a topic you'd like for me to cover or a topic you would like for me to revisit, send us a message. You can email me directly at ggthefranchiseguide.com. Leave a comment. I don't check them every single day, but I'll get to all those comments and make sure to cover a topic, revisit a topic, or anything you'd like for me to review. Sometimes I'll combine a few topics on a future episode. And if you just want to have a chat, go right to the website, ggthefranchiseguide.com, book a call. More than glad to dive in and figure out if franchising may or may not be a good fit. So today's topic is a question I've been receiving literally 2-3 times a day. And I also, just for fun, was looking at Google Trends and searches and things like that, and noticed that this trend or this question has been coming up quite a bit. And that trend or question is, what is the best franchise near me? It's been a very popular search term or question, and I wanted to really tackle that today. What does that even mean? So by adding what is the best franchise near me, it's taken into consideration where you're located, your IP address. Hopefully it's using local IPs. And when people are asking me, they're essentially asking me, what is the franchise that's going to work the best in my market? There's a lot there. And the way I wanted to kind of tackle this one was, number one, Google doesn't know what's the best franchise. Obviously, it's utilizing SEO and various search terms and things like that to pull up what it feels will be the best franchise. But how does Google know? How does AI know what's going to be that best franchise? You really need to dig deep, figure out what this ideal business looks like. So near me, in your local market, that's a big one. I don't discount that. And it's important depending on what that franchise is. So for example, if you're looking at a senior care business, and we just had someone open up here in the Phoenix market, and you want to explore the territories available, you want to make sure you have that population of that 75 plus in age community, or else it will not work. It's kind of like opening up a pool franchise and no one has or owns a pool anywhere near your territory, or both indoor and outdoor. So these are things when looking at a franchise, the franchisor obviously wants to give you the best territories in that local market, the best locations, but there's going to be a lot of due diligence on your end, making sure that you feel like it could work in your market. Obviously, speaking with the competitors and things like that. Going back to what's the best franchise near me, that's an important topic. It's an important question, but let's focus on the best franchise and the characteristics. The near me is going to be one of those characteristics, and that near me is going to be based off of two things. Number one, brick and mortar. Do I want a franchise that maybe is in a shopping center or a standalone building? Or do I want it to be home-based or a business I can run out of a small office, keeping the expenses really low? These are questions to be asked. Now, brick and mortar, you're looking at a physical location. The franchisor does not know what that exact location will be, but they'll come back and say, you're in the Austin, Texas market. We have room for 3 locations in that market. If you're interested, then they would hire and you would work with a third party to figure out what that ideal, or what are the ideal locations in that market via some analysis. They're going to do some third party analysis there. When you're owning a non-brick and mortar, we'll call it a home-based business or something that requires an office, you're going to be more, territory-based, 50, 60, couple 100,000 people in population, and they're going to vary based off the brands. And you may want an office centralized to that territory. If your goal is to own 3 territories, maybe you have that office centralized, assuming you don't need an office in each territory, which typically is you only need that one location. You want to be centralized, keeping that future growth in mind, and then saying, okay, I own this market. Maybe it's 200,000 in population per territory. I bought 3 territories. That's 600,000. Maybe that's 3, 4, 5 counties in your state. how centralized do I want to be, to make it work? And also, what is going to be my role in the business? So it may be an hour from where I live, which is not ideal, right? You want to be as close to home as possible, but realistically, how much are you traveling into the actual office? If you're doing any type of travel, networking, chamber of commerce, you can hire someone in sales, someone in business development, maybe to tackle the north end or the east side of that territory, and you handle the west side, the south side of that territory. So really kind of dividing up the territory, and you have time to figure that out because you typically tackle each territory individually. As that franchise company, the franchisor is giving you this development agreement that's giving you the idea of, we need you to develop and open up and each and every one of your territories every 6 months, or if it's a location, every 6 to 12 months, we need you to open up your new location, just so that you're not sitting on those territories or locations and not developing and actually getting those open. So these are things: territory, physical location, and then how you're going to go about it.
But what about the ultimate goal, running your business part-time? In the next segment, we break down the reality of semi-absentee franchise ownership and what it really means for corporate executives.